In a world, 4 friends, 1 mission.
Mikey, what are you doing?
I'm doing the thing for the podcast.
It's not that hard, bud.
Dude, just say the name.
Fine. It's the Freedom Friends podcast. I don't know, dude.
Is it Friday? I think it's Friday.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. There's only 3 of us, so the toast isn't going to be as soggy as normal. But we're still in a circle. Johnny boy, what are we about to do?
We're about to masturbate.
You damn right. It's time for that Freedom Friends Master Debate, solving the world's problems. Those mediocre topics that Justin gives us. We do this off the cuff, everybody. We have no idea what he's about to say. And then he says something, and then we end up talking shit about it for a while. Yeah.
Par for the course.
Par for the course. What you got for us this week, Justin?
All right, boys.
All right.
boys.
So, given that Mikey just had a birthday, I want to know, what are some things you could do when you were 30, but you can't do now that you're in your 40s?
Something I could do when I was 30, but I can't do in my 40s. Hangovers hurt a lot more.
2 chicks at the same
2
time.
chicks at the same time. Nope, I was married through my 30s too, bro. No, fucking.
That would have been in my teens.
Hangovers hurt a lot more now. Like I can't.
What does it take? Because I feel like I know how much y'all drink. So, like,
It ain't
as
cheap.
As a 27-year-old, I'm like, I would be.
You're looking directly at me right now. My hangovers, like I have to really, really have an
I don't think
epic night.
I feel like your hangovers are hit and miss sometimes, though.
They are.
Yeah.
Because,
Yes.
like, a couple weekends ago, we were down the ranch, and I was completely fine, and you were hungover as fuck.
I mean, I had a little hangover, but I got through it.
Yeah.
Or like, I don't know, 3 or 4 podcasts ago, we aced that big bottle of JMO, that handle.
That one I had a little.
Yeah, that sucked.
I had a bit of a hangover the
Yeah,
next day,
I definitely
but
did.
not my worst.
No.
You know what I mean? It should have been worse.
So when was your worst hangover?
Oh,
St. Patty's Day, I think still holds up.
Yes. Yeah.
Or the day
That
after.
was St. Patty's Day 2015.
Yeah. Yeah.
You were in your 30s.
I was in my 30s. I think there's nothing I can't do now that I could do in my 30s.
my worst hang. Oh, I know my worst hangover. My first night back to Okinawa after Fallujah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were not, but you were probably in your 20s then.
I was.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So that was still my worst hangover.
I think the
Oh, well, that was the first time I blacked out and woke up with a hangover.
Oh,
Where
okay.
you wake up somewhere you don't know where the fuck you
Yeah.
are, and you're like, oh shit! Like it's the first time that happened.
yeah.
Oh, geez.
Woke up under a bed.
Should have joined the army as an infantryman.
I woke up under a bed.
Because that was like, fuck, I was 18 the first time that happened to me.
Oh, don't get me wrong. Like I drank enough. 'Cause I drank a lot, man. I mean, I was already bartending by this point. Like
yeah,
I
but the
was-
blackout.
No. I'm going to call your bullshit on this. If you compare what you drink now
Uh-huh.
to what you drank then, it seemed like a lot then, but
Oh, it wasn't.
Well, it was also
I drank a
it was
lot
like
of beer and
it was-
shots of Crown.
It was
Yeah.
mixed drinks too. Like
That's the
you were
problem.
mixing drinks, and now it's just booze, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
Because
so
we
you're
know-
that's true.
we know better, right?
Yeah.
So if I'm on a beer, random shots, oh no, my worst hangover is the Jägermeister night.
My worst
That was
hangover.
That was
My worst hangover was my first birthday here in Texas.
That was when you tried to fight the MMA guy.
Yep.
Yeah.
And when everybody,
Oh, that was-
all of my quote unquote friends tried to kill me. Yep. That I thought I had a worse hangover before that.
It's your fault for being that old.
And it's funny. It always it happens on my birthday every time. So I was bartending in Arizona, and I wouldn't say my friends tried to kill me. I just think it was a challenge accepted at that point in my life.
yeah.
And I drank more than I drank on that night of my birthday. And the bar manager, this guy Steve, kept a tab of every drink and every shot that was poured specifically just for me. And it was something like, I think it was like 42 shots and like 15 drinks. It was more than I drank the night when everyone tried to kill me, but it was over a longer period of time.
Right.
Yeah.
That night I did 36 drinks or 36 shots and 11 drinks or something like that.
It was crazy. Yeah.
But it was in like 2.5 hours.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I had a 3-day hangover.
Yeah.
Like no bullshit, legit fucking.
Well, I remember we tried to get you an IV the next day.
And I couldn't. My blood clotted in the fucking catheter.
Nice.
No, because they were going to flush it. And I'm like, you know what? Let's just call it a day. We pulled it out and there's a blood clot in there. And I'm like, thank God we didn't fucking flush that clot into my system. Yeah, it was
That's
bad.
wild.
It was bad.
Ooh, that brings up another one. That brings up another one. I had a Satmar meetup right before a playoff game, a Patriots playoff game.
Yeah.
And I got fucking shit faced the night before. It was like a hardcore bluebonnet night or something, right? And I got fucking trashed. And I had a corpsman friend of mine bring a bag to the bar, and at Hooligans or at Quartermain Pub here in Selma, he hung a bag for me while I watched the fucking game.
That's where we went the night that we met.
Yes. Yes. So I'm sitting there getting a fucking bag, drinking a beer, watching kickoff. And everybody was like walking by like, what the fuck? And I was just, mind your business, dude. Fuck. Because I was fucking trounced from the night before. That was a rough one. That was in my 30s.
That was in the night you guys tried to kill me. That was in my 30s.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you guys did that now, fuck off.
Yeah. No, you're too old to play the shot for every
I can't
fucking
do that.
year now. Yeah.
No, it wasn't a shot for every year. It was just they would literally just go to the bar to get a drink and they'd order me shots.
Yeah.
And it started where one person went and then bought a round for everyone. And then we went through like 5 or 6 iterations of that. And then they were like, okay, this isn't working.
Now we're buying a round, and John's doing the whole round. And we're not.
Well, no, it started off where everyone got 1 and I got 2. And I'm like, okay, cool. And I think I told the story in an earlier episode.
Yeah.
But I got to the point where I walked up to the bar and everyone had 1 and I had 5. And that's when I was like, whatever happens after this is no longer my responsibility.
Yeah.
It's on y'all.
At a certain point,
know.
the blame changes.
Yeah,
We're
that's
fucking
it.
sure, dude.
That was a
Yeah.
definitive moment.
At a
100%.
certain point that night, I went into, okay, I need to keep John alive mode.
Yep. And like I said, we were only there for like 2.5 hours.
Dude.
Yeah. Tried to fucking fight an MMA dude. Well, I didn't try to fight him. I just wanted to grab
You
him.
wanted to grapple with him.
Yeah.
Luckily, he had a good sense of humor about it.
Oh,
was-
I
he was
think
a good
you
dude.
gave me one look and was like, this fucking idiot.
Oh man, yeah. I would say that the hangovers definitely hurt worse in your 40s than your 30s.
I don't know. No, I'm going to argue that. I'm fine.
Yeah,
Give
Yeah.
a good honest
And
effort.
The more hungover I am, the earlier I try to wake up,
that's true.
and I try to punish myself. Like
Yeah.
I won't do a hangover where I stay in bed and like, no, I earned this. I'm fucking dealing with.
Well, so you live by the mantra, right? If you could be a man at night, you
Yeah.
could be a man in the morning.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. I kind of do. I try to do the same thing. I try to do the same thing. It's not always as successful as I'd like it to be, but yeah.
Yeah.
So sometimes the hangover wins.
Well, it's like, for instance, when I'm at RCPT, I stay up drinking until fucking like 2 a.m.
But yeah, and then
Like
when you
almost-
wake up in the morning,
And then I wake up at like 4 or 5.
and you're
Get
still
up.
drunk.
The headache's there though, like because
But you're more drunk than you are hungover.
But I
at
drink
that point.
beer while I'm there, and I think that's the problem.
Oh,
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's like when I'll drink beer till like midnight, 1 o'clock, and then it's like fuck, 4 a.m. is gonna come early.
So I have a theory, and
Like-
I've had this since I bartended about, because people would be like, well, if you just stick to one thing the whole night, you'll be fine.
That's not true.
But people are like, you get a hangover because you switch and you drink beer and a rum and coke and a Jack and this and a whiskey and a blow, and you have all this different stuff. It doesn't. What I think people don't understand when they're like, oh, well, I'm hungover because I drank a whole bunch of different stuff. It's not because it's different.
Like
It's because you
sugar.
drank a whole bunch.
Yeah,
That's it.
it's still whiskey. it's still alcohol.
I don't
right?
know.
Like-
I don't know. I think because
Certain things definitely give you more of a hangover.
I think the more sugar.
well, that's
but,
true.
But it's
Yeah.
not like that
Like a
person.
rum hangover hurts way worse than a vodka hangover.
But
You know
that
what I mean?
person that says, oh, it's because I drank a bunch of different things. It's not because you had 6 different drinks.
Yeah,
It's because you probably had 30.
Yeah.
And in the course of it, you drank 6 different things. And then you're blaming it on that and not the 30 drinks that you had over the course of the night.
the $300 tab that you racked up,
Yeah.
motherfucker. It's
It's like, oh, it was this one rum and coke. Like, sure it was.
Right.
Sure.
So in Costa Rica, I ordered a margarita, but I said hold all the other stuff and just double up the tequila and put it on the rocks.
yeah.
And but I drink tequila, I drink rum, I drink whiskey all in one night. And
Yeah.
Would you drink it on the rocks by itself?
Yes. Yeah. And then Michelle made me walk a fucking mile up a hill and back down. And I drank a big water in between. So like
That might have helped. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's water and ice.
There is.
I mean,
Yeah. Thank God.
yeah. I mean, but a lot of times, and I think maybe that helps.
Yeah.
I think maybe that the fact that I drink my whiskey on rocks like might actually help.
I will say
my
this.
hangover a little bit.
I was the younger I was, the better natural shooter I was. It's harder. It was when I was 14. I lived in Arizona and I'd go out to Usury Pass Range in Mesa, right? I think that was the Mesa one, whatever. And I had a 308 and a scope that I shot so much I knew it really well. I didn't know how to do the dope. I didn't know how to. I knew.
You just knew in your scope.
I knew in my scope I had to held this high for this far, and
Good old Kentucky.
I
windage.
didn't have rangefinders. I just had to guesstimate, right? But I would win. Like I would bet people money that I could hit a fucking soda can, 300-400 yards away, and they're like, "Fuck, I'll bet you $100." We go, all right. So at fucking 14, I'm like taking people's money.
Yeah, dude.
Right.
In the 1800s is probably easier.
The soda cans were bigger back then.
But then like now my eyesight's going a little bit.
Yeah.
Like it's harder now.
That was one thing. So because I got the surgery, so now it doesn't really count, right? But I can kind of equate to back before when I had perfect eyesight,
Right.
to because I hit a wall. Like I had like great eyesight, and then fuck you. Like it was out of nowhere. And I honestly think that I thought I burned my eyes in Iraq or something, right? Because it just fucking dropped one day and it was like, fuck is that? Like, I was like, oh fuck, I can't see shit. Like I couldn't watch TV, and like read captions or anything, right? Like it fucked me up. And I was like, God damn. And so I went and got surgery. But so I guess maybe I could see how that would be like a huge change, like a huge difference. Yeah.
Yeah. But as far as like being able to do stuff in my 40s compared to my 30s, I can afford to do more stuff now.
Yeah.
There's a lot I couldn't do in my 30s because I was broke as shit in the
Yeah.
army,
I have credit now, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a plus. Credit's a fucking plus. Financially, you're better set. And I think you're just naturally more frugal, right? You're a little bit more careful with your spending habit. Well,
Yeah, maybe.
then again,
You're the only one here with the one wheel.
yeah, that's true. Was I still in my 30s when I bought that? I don't remember.
It was like 2.5 years ago. Who knows?
Well, I just hit 42, so that would have been in my 30s.
This is Mikey's last hurrah in his 30s.
Right? By the one wheel, you whack job.
What about like personality wise? Do you think you've grown more patient or less patient?
Less.
Yeah, I have less patience for bullshit. It's like you'll.
It depends on what.
Yeah.
Well, it's like people, right? Like
No, I'm more people tolerant now.
not me, not
Mine's
me.
going
Like
opposite.
No.
if this person, if I meet a person and they're a piece of shit, it's like I
Oh,
don't,
yeah,
I don't
okay.
need you in my life. I am perfectly fine with
I'm
my fucking group
okay.
of people.
I'm gonna
You know?
I'm gonna rephrase what I said.
Like,
then.
I don't need that.
I'm more apt to talk to random people now.
That's true. Yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel like wherever I am, I can have a conversation with somebody. Like you guys probably saw the email from the guy that I met at the beach, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I don't have a business card. Here's a cigar band. Just email me through this, right?
Yeah. Fucking Google
Yeah.
my cigar.
And he really did. He sent an email. He's like, hey, your favorite guitarist, right? He was playing the live music at one of the bars we went to. And then we ran into him on the streets just hanging out. And he was just a cool old dude that was playing music. And, we kind of hit it off. And
Nice.
but like in my 30s, I wouldn't have talked to the guy playing music. Now he was playing music. I kind of had a conversation with him while he was playing music, and he was playing good stuff.
Sure.
And I tipped him and, whatever. And like, it just, I think I'm more open to interacting with people now. tolerance wise, yeah, if they come off as a douchebag, you cut that shit right away.
Yeah. Like I just won't entertain it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. And the cool person that I might have thought was cool in my 30s, like now I can see, no, this is a fucking douchebag.
Yeah. Right.
You know what I mean? Like you can see through the bullshit.
Yeah. That's what John figured out about me. He met me in his 30s.
Right.
And now he's like, fuck. I'm friends with this guy.
Same.
Fuck me. Fuck me. No, I was talking about you.
I know,
to
but
me.
I can see it on your face every time you walk into my office and say hi.
That's not true. I always give you a hug. What are you talking about? I was like, hey, buddy. I'm actually just there to see Kira.
That's it. I'm used to it at this point.
Yeah, well, that's understandable. It's Kira. But no, tolerating idiots. That's a big one.
My tolerance for stupidity has gone out the window. Like completely out the window. I used to be able to like
that has changed in the last 6 years for you.
I'm more apt
When
to
you
call people
just started
fuck guy.
working at the gun store, you were like,
I talked to anybody, it didn't matter.
yeah, you were
Didn't
so
matter what
happy
the
go
problem-
lucky.
Like
Now you're an angry guy.
but it's based on stupidity.
Well,
What's
maybe.
the sign on your desk?
I'll be nicer if you'll be smarter.
Yeah. See? Like,
Thank you, Dave.
it's right the fuck on, man. Like-
But
like-
Dave,
like-
you've probably seen this change with John. I've seen him change over the years where in the gun store,
Yeah,
like you had a high tolerance for stupidity
I did.
for at least the first couple of years.
Yeah.
And then toward the end, it was not. I remember one day he's on the phone to a customer and tells him he can go fuck himself. And I'm just like, I didn't know this is how we did business.
He did. He got off the phone. I got my ass chewed.
But then he explained it to me, and I'm like, okay, yeah, that's fine.
So the guy had it coming.
100%.
100%.
But it was out of it was a flip of a switch.
It was
From,
justified.
from the outside, not knowing exactly what was going on.
Because you're hearing only what he's saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was fine. And you can go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
And then it was just like, oh, well, that escalated quickly.
But
I mean, fortunately, though, you knew John from before.
yeah.
So you were like, hey, man, what the fuck was that?
I think that's probably exactly what I said. I think that's exactly what I
Like,
said.
tell me that whole story before I rip into you.
Yeah. But like because we sold guns on Gunbroker, and
Sure.
they were the same guns hanging up on the wall, right?
Yeah.
So I think one guy won an auction on Gunbroker, but we had sold it in the store.
Yeah.
We could have, like John explained it to the guy. We could, hey, we'll just order another one and send it to you.
Yeah.
Right? It's no big deal. It'll take an extra 2 days.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the
Or
guy,
we can refund your money.
yeah.
I have multiple solutions for this problem that we have right now. And then however I can make this right,
It's a
We're-
freak situation.
we're in a small industry. We always try to make it right with our customers, blah, 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 blah. And the guy was just being a fucking cocksucker. Like he really was.
Yeah.
And then finally by the end of it, I was just like, or you can just go fuck yourself. And I hung up the phone and I fucking refunded his money. And Scott's just like, what is going on?
But I didn't hear any of that, right? Yeah.
I bet that guy tells this story in a very different fucking light.
100% fuck this gun store. I tried to buy a gun with me, sold it out from underneath me, and then the guy told me to go fuck myself.
I guarantee you that's the story he tells.
But I'm okay with it.
Go to Yelp. He left a review. That's fucking funny. I'm more patient with my kids now in my 40s than I was in my 30s. And because I had my oldest the whole time during my 30s, I will say that I'm more patient with like my kids. Like I've gotten to the point now where like when they fuck up, and granted they're not as annoying as they used to be.
How old
That's
were
not true. Sometimes they are.
How older were you when you became a father?
29.
29. I was 20. No, I was 19.
Yeah.
I would be a much better father today
Yeah.
than when I was 19.
Well, that's
I
you're
think,
talking about that was when your 40s and when you're in your teens.
yeah,
man.
when I still was a kid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you were a child.
Yeah.
You were a child having child.
Yeah.
You know, like,
And so, yeah, I see that. Am I a great dad today? I don't know.
yeah, I don't know if I'm great, but I'm trying.
I try, but I think the way I try is a little too abrasive.
But they're old enough now that they understand.
No,
There's new
no.
ones.
I pushed one over the line a little bit, and Michelle had to bring me back to reality a little bit
Yeah.
because, like, I assume my children are old enough to understand what I'm trying to tell them,
Yeah.
but they're not. And so, knowing that they don't understand what I'm trying to tell them, and the way I'm trying to tell them, because I assume that they understand it. And when I'm wrong, it was a big deal here lately, and
Yeah.
so it was like, oh fuck,
You got to
Okay.
break it down for them,
yeah,
you know?
I gotta spend, yeah, like I teach through embarrassment.
But the fact that you recognize that is something you would not have recognized 10 years ago.
No,
10 years ago, you'd have been like, fuck that. I said what I said.
well,
It's
10 years ago, I probably wouldn't have even been able. I wouldn't have been even trying to teach them what I'm trying to teach them.
right.
You know what I mean?
I'm saying if your kids
Yeah.
were the same age they are now 10 years ago with you, like if you,
Oh, yeah,
like your
yeah.
16-year-old today would have been 16-year-old then.
Yeah,
It would have been a day and night conversation compared to what you're giving them now.
probably.
Yeah. Like, then that's the way I'm looking at this debate topic, right? Is like, I have a 13, my son John will be 13 next month. Like, if he was 13 when I was 32 instead of 42, when he was 13, if he was 13 then, I don't think I would have been as valuable. I don't think I would have provided as value added fucking guidance as a father as I will now.
Yeah.
Right. Like, and it's just, and it maybe
Well,
it's just the 10 years of experience as child rearing and shit goes.
You know, and I see these parents that once they become parents, they completely give up their own life. Right.
Yeah.
They become parents and their kids are the number one thing. And I think that that's a mistake. I think my kids will ultimately learn more from me about how I conduct my life. And now that especially now that they're old enough to see it and they see this fucking podcast and they see, you know, like they get to hear stuff that I'm not talking to them, but they get to hear it, you know, like I think that's going to translate better than if I was just like one of those parents that like my whole life evolved around their lives.
Oh, if my kids ever see this shit, I'm gonna be like, turn that fucking channel.
My kids have sat in on this shit.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, your youngest is sat right fucking there.
Yeah.
Listen to this bullshit. That's
Yeah.
true. Yeah.
But
how old is he? How old's your youngest?
16.
16.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, and my oldest is 13. So
Yeah.
it's like that's the gap,
Yeah.
right? Like between, like, well, what's your oldest?
26.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so huge difference. Like you are a much more accomplished and fucking saltier parent than I ever.
But you know,
can
like
be,
my
right? Like,
my 22-year-old and my 26-year-old, now that they're old enough and they're essentially on their own, they're adults, right? Like
doing their thing. Yeah.
I think they look now and they see like, okay, like I understand.
Especially the 26-year-old. I'm sure he gets it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like he's tracking because he's pushing 30. I mean, fuck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And
Like,
now he's got 3 kids. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So yeah.
no.
And you know, he's a fucking workaholic just like I was when I was that age, you know. It's like so he gets it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think just there is a, I don't want to say maturity change between your 30s and 40s, but there's definitely
Not maturity, but
It's
there's an
a
outlook.
perspective change.
Yeah, a perspective.
Like you change your perspective a little bit,
Yeah.
and like you're able to, like, you know, Jazz has talked about that 30,000 foot view.
Yeah.
I think that comes into focus a little bit better at this age than it did then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not that you weren't trying to look at it from that, because you were. You just weren't.
No,
you weren't looking through the
no.
right fucking scope.
You
right?
just don't have the capability because
Yeah.
like now my 30,000 foot view is way like, okay, it's, you know, now I'm in a place where like, okay, you know, I'm goal oriented for my kids.
Yeah.
Where in 10 years ago, I was only goal oriented for me. You know, it wasn't like I have to succeed to provide for my kids.
Yeah.
You know, now it's like, okay, now I need to teach them how to succeed for themselves.
Yeah.
You know, like they don't need me anymore.
For sure.
But they need a little bit of guidance. So
Yeah.
Do you think a little bit of the mindset shift is subconsciously when you hit 40, you're like, fuck, I'm halfway there?
There's definitely a morality.
when I hit 35, I was happy.
There's definitely mortality. There's thoughts of mortality.
Yeah.
Like I'm fucking like, and honestly, and I'll open up to this on this one. In the last fucking few months, I've had like terrifying thoughts that I'm like fucking close to death.
So,
You know what I mean?
so
Like,
you went from completely wholeheartedly accepting death
Yeah. In my 20s, for sure.
to now
for sure.
not really being afraid of it, but it's
I'm terrified that I'm not leaving a legacy for my kids to fucking thrive. That's what fucking scares me. Scares the fuck out of me, dude. Like I'm terrified of that. Like I'm freaked out by it. Like waking up cold sweats thinking, if I die tomorrow, what the fuck are they going to do?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that scares that thought scares the fucking shit out of me, you know? And that's something that I didn't have in my 30s.
No.
You know what I mean? Like it was like, I was like, oh, I'm still living day to day. I'm still fucking doing my thing. It's all good, blah, blah, blah. Like let's go towards these goals. Let's knock these goals out. And now it's like, all right, the goals are in reach, but fuck, what then?
right.
You know, and it's that terrifying thought, man. It genuinely scares the shit out of me. Like I'm genuinely freaked out that I'm not doing, or that I'm a bad dad or something. Like if what kind of example do I set, or what do I do? Like it actually affects me now, and I think before I act because of that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a little quicker to apologize for my knee-jerk reactions to my kids' jackassery. Right?
Yeah.
Where in my 30s, I'm not apologizing for shit. Fuck those kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I may have overreacted to you hitting that deer, but god damn it.
You were definitely in your 40s when that happened.
Yeah, that was a week ago.
Another deer?
Yeah.
Motherfucker, that kid. Was he aiming for him?
That's what I said.
Like, gee, that's his third deer.
Second deer.
In this vehicle?
No, first one in this vehicle. The first one is the cop car.
I thought he hit two with that one.
Your boys got more deer this season than I have.
Same. Same.
Yeah.
Same, dude.
Me and my truck are 1-1.
Yeah. Like, fuck.
Yeah.
You know, I've never hit a deer.
Really?
I've never ran into
This
one.
is the first one I got since high school.
Yeah.
My favorite one is when the deer hit me. Literally, he was going to cross. I stopped. He stopped. I went and he ran into the side of my truck.
Yeah.
And then I got out and killed the motherfucker.
That happened to me in like junior high. I was going to weightlifting and my buddy's mom was driving and an antelope hit us. And it like hit the side, straight ran into the side of her, like broke her mirror off.
Yeah.
like bang. And I was like, I remember I was in remember the old jump seats? Like the fold downs. I was in one of those. And I saw it coming because I'm facing this way. I'm facing that side of the car. And and I saw that. I was like, that's a thunk. What the fuck? Yeah. That was weird.
When I lived in Minnesota, if you hit a deer with your vehicle, they would give you a tag for it.
Really?
You could save the meat. Because if not, unless you process it yourself, you couldn't bring it to a butcher or anything like that if you didn't have a tag. Like it's a deer. Clearly, it's been hit by a vehicle. They don't care.
Yeah.
And so
maybe it was just a really big round.
Before I got my license,
you just shoot it with an arrow before you take it in.
Before I got my driver's license, my stepfather hit a deer in a Jeep. And it didn't really do, it killed the deer, but it didn't do a lot of damage. And it was a decent buck. And so we sat on the side of the fucking road until the cops showed up. Cops fucking, there you go. Loaded in the back of the truck, hung it in the fucking garage, and dressed it out.
Get the fuck out
right?
of here.
So immediately, ingrained in my head is, oh, I had an 88 Ford Bronco. It was a carved out chunk of steel.
Yeah.
You know, you're not going to do much. You know what I mean?
Well, you just put a big fuck you bumper on.
Oh, I didn't even need to. It just had the factory fuck you bumper on it.
Yeah.
You know, and so I would aim for deer. I would. If I saw it and I'm like, woo, and I'd fucking floor it. And I'm like, come on, you fuck. But
best deer I ever hit was a little Bambi.
Jesus fucking
Right in
psycho.
right in front of me though. and I'm on full brakes, right? I'm fucking, it's like there's smoke rolling off.
You're
my
standing
tires.
up.
I'm standing on it. This fucker's standing right in front of me, and one of my tow hooks hits it just as I stop. I stop, hit this deer, and this little fucker goes flying.
Yeah.
Like it fucking, I launched.
Looked like you swung a baseball
Yes.
bat at it.
Yeah. No damage at all to the truck.
They kill it?
Oh yeah, I killed
Yeah. It probably wasn't even the impact here. It was probably the impact when it landed.
Probably.
My most recent one that I just got a couple weeks ago. I was driving back from the property in New Braunfels, and it's just a 2-lane road, and there were cars coming towards me, and there was 2 cars in front of me and 4 cars behind me, and I see out of the corner of my eye this deer jumps across the oncoming traffic, barely misses the truck that was coming towards me, and then I see him like kind of land just in front of my driver's side tire, and I see his like legs slide out because he starts to lean like away from the truck.
Yeah.
And I hit square right in the bottom of my bumper. And it was just, I was like, I didn't even have time to touch the brakes. And it was just thunk, and that was it. And I'm like, motherfucker. And I couldn't stop because there's cars behind me and everything, And so I don't know how many cars behind me hit the deer also.
All of them.
It went under and it didn't touch my tires because I didn't feel a bump. I just heard a thud. And it was like dead center of the middle of my front bumper.
Huh.
And so I went up probably an 8th mile or so and then pulled over into a driveway. And I just sat there for probably a minute just watching my temperature gauge, just seeing if he fucking poked my regulator or my radiator, and it didn't move. And I'm like, okay. So I got out and I went and looked, and I'm expecting like the whole front end of my truck to be fucked up. And it just took the bottom of my bumper and just bent it a little bit.
It's very symmetrical. Dent.
Yeah, it was like perfectly dead center. The valance, the little air dam underneath,
Yeah.
still intact completely.
Oh, really? Nice.
So
I-
my first thought was because he has that big fuck you hitch.
Yeah.
I'm like, did that hitch cut the deer in half coming out?
So as soon as I looked at the front of it, I immediately went to the back of my truck to see if there was any blood or skin on the hitch. There was nothing.
Damn.
But
dude. How little was that deer?
it's probably a 2 to 3 year old doe,
Oh, wow.
and it's Texas deer.
It's
so.
so it was a dog.
So it's 80.
Yeah, it was probably 100, maybe 115 pounds.
Yeah.
Soaking wet.
Damn.
But it was, like I said, it was on, like it slipped. And if it didn't slip, it probably would have done some damage to the grill.
Probably went right in the middle of your fucking grill.
Yeah, it would probably still be in my truck.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Picking
luckily,
out hair and shit.
yeah, luckily it hit how it hit.
Nice.
But yeah, the last deer besides this one that I quote unquote hit, I remember very vividly. When I was living in Minnesota, there was a hill that I had to drive up, and it was like highway speed, 65 miles an hour. And the top of the hill was the turn to get into my neighborhood. And so we're right at the bottom of the hill, and my buddy Nate was in the passenger seat, and this deer's coming passenger side to driver side across the road. And I'm like, fuck yeah, and floor it. You know what I mean? Because I want this deer, it's meat. And I'm trying, and I'm in oncoming traffic, and it's going across the road, and all we hear is just like a pretty much a tap. That's it.
Yeah.
Right. And we're like, what the fuck? Like, man, I don't think I hit it. I got close, but I don't think I hit it. So we get up, we turn into the driveway, we get out, and we go look. And on my driver's side turn signal, there was a hole about this big in the lens. And I'm assuming that I just clipped his tail as I went by. It was probably 85. How fucking bad would that hurt?
Bobbed his tail, man.
Whack! And you're like, oh, son of a bitch.
I bet that fucker jumped a fucking mile and a half, dude. Jeez.
If anybody in Minnesota got a deer with his tail looked like an L, that was me.
Oh, fuck. One thing that I think's gotten easier as I've gotten older is accepting death, not from other people. Like I dealt with it a lot in my 20s because of combat, and that was different. And in my 30s, occasionally, you'd have somebody die that you knew. But in my 40s, when people that I know die, and it's kind of fucking weird.
For me, it's backwards, man.
Am I becoming desensitized? I don't know, but it's like,
For me, I have more emotion now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm more emotional about shit like that.
yeah,
It bothers me more now. In my 20s, I just got over it. I put it away.
we compartmentalized. Yeah.
Now it bothers me a lot more.
Like I think it still bothers me. I think I've just gotten used to compartmentalization so much that it's like Jules passed away.
Yeah.
Right. Like that. I'll use that example because it's fresh in my mind.
Well, that one
right?
bothered me a lot.
It bugged the fuck out of me. Right. It bugged the fuck out of me. But at the same time, like I cried like 2 or 3 times and then it was done.
Yeah.
And I was like, I know she meant a lot to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I know that person was special to me and meant a lot to me.
For me,
I was able to compartmentalize a little bit better than I thought I would be able to.
for me, somebody like Jules bothers me a lot more because they had a lot more life to give.
That's the part that I think
But-
did bother me.
But like older people though that lived a good life.
Yeah.
Like you look at that and you're like, okay, like
Yeah.
how are you upset by that?
Yeah. If
Right?
you make it to your 90s, it's
Yeah.
a hell of a run, bro.
a hell of a run, right?
Yeah. Right.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
And but that's still like when I was younger, like a grandparent dies or something, it was like devastating,
Yeah.
and it was like even someone who you didn't really notice that much. Like I had a great uncle pass away and like I hadn't talked to him in fucking 20 years and it fucked me up when I was in my 30s,
yeah.
but then I had another one recently pass away and I was like, well, nobody's getting off this rock alive, you know what I mean? Type of shit. He had a hell of a run type of thing. And it was like the same sort of deal. But I think just from living through it so many times and so much fucking death over the years that I've just gotten, it's not that I expect it, but it's just like when it happens, is it a shock? Sure. It's like, oh, fuck, that so-and-so died.
I think what we've experienced,
Son of a bitch.
what we've experienced here is like a couple that meant a lot and they were really hard to deal with. Right.
Yeah.
And then
Honestly, Jules meant so much that it broke it.
yeah.
It broke the fuse.
Right.
And I was just kind of like, oh,
But like I had one of my really good friends die when we were in West Point.
Yep.
Right.
I remember that.
And so that one like really broke me down. And then after that, it was easier,
Yeah.
but that one fucked me up a lot. But yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know, and it's not that you ever stop giving a fuck because you don't. You know what I mean?
The weird thing is now when somebody I know like that dies, it makes me think about like if I would die right now, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm not overly upset with it because I've lived a good life.
Yeah.
There's not a whole lot else that
You've done a lot.
I've done a lot, right?
Yeah.
And so like I would be okay with it, but then you think about like the people who know me, like my kids and wife, and
But, yeah.
That's what bothers me.
I worry about what I'm leaving behind.
Right.
The people I'm leaving behind.
Yeah,
right?
but it's not.
It's not me.
It's not me.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Like I'm fine with it. I'm ready whenever it's my time.
Yeah.
That's fine, right? Like, and I think maybe it's just me being fucking paranoid because my parents died so young. You know what I mean? Because like my mom died at 48, my dad at 47, and I'm 42.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that is a fucking check.
That's
a reality.
I'm the
thing.
same age that my stepdad died.
Yeah.
Right. It's like, well, fuck. Like I thought he was older.
We have a friend.
Right. Right. And it's like, fuck, man. Like,
Yeah.
when's the shoe gonna drop?
Yeah.
We had a friend in Nebraska who set a life goal to be retired by a certain age because nobody in his family, period, across the board, made it past them.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. And he is literally on borrowed time according to the lifeline of his family.
Genetics. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's living a very good life and he's been very successful and he's got an awesome wife and his kids are doing very good, but he made his goal.
What was his goal? His goal age?
50.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think by 52, nobody else in his family was alive after that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had my first sergeant who in the National Guard, my first sergeant, he was a city policeman and first sergeant. He retired from the National Guard. And then like a month later, thanks. And then retired.
Fuck off, Siri.
And then retired from the police force. And like literally within a month of retiring from both, he died.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, that sucks.
Yeah.
Like that's
Putting all this work in for
Yeah.
double pension and don't even get to enjoy
Yeah.
it.
yeah.
Like I guarantee you didn't even get his first paycheck.
fuck no. Like that sucks. That sucks.
Yeah.
But
I mean, well, and I think that's like like I kind of get what you're saying though. You know, like it's like I've lived a fucking cool life. I've done a lot of cool shit, and I've had great opportunities, and I've had fun. Yeah. You know what I mean? I can't complain. You know what I mean? Honestly, I can't. Yeah. But if I was to leave today, if I was to die today, like let's say I leave the podcast here on my way and fucking get schwacked and I drop. Like I'm fucking terrified for my family, for my friends, for like, you know, the people that I'm leaving behind. That freaks me out, you know? And I think it's just because it's like, man, you know, I talked to my older brother the other day, and he's in his 50s now. He's 50. And I was like, is it weird that you outlived mom? And he's like, yeah. It's fucking weird to me. He's like, honestly, I try not to think about it because it freaks me out. You know what I mean? And I get it. Yeah. You know what I mean? His dad's still alive, but like, his birth dad is still alive, but he was still like, you know, he's like, yeah, it fucking weirds me out. Now, granted, my mother had health problems. Her fucking, her 20s and 30s fucking sucked, you know, her 40s fucking sucked. Like she was in health problems, right? Yeah. Same with my dad. My dad had multiple sclerosis and had fucking issues. Like, you know, it's a normal thing, right? But, you know, it is still very, very like, and I think part of it is the reason why I don't like going to doctors, because I don't want to hear the bad news. Right. You know what I mean? It's like, what are they going to fucking tell me? Because ignorance is bliss.
No news is good news.
Right? Like ignorance is fucking bliss. Like I love the fact that I'm like, hey, I'm fucking living. I feel fucking fine today. Whatever. Da, 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 da. Meanwhile, I'm probably got like stage 4 and I don't even realize it. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's like,
you got a colonoscopy scheduled yet?
No, I'm not that age yet. Yeah. That's
you are.
That's 45.
Oh, they told me earlier than that.
Well, they told you because you're in your fucking millennia.
You're scheduled yet?
I had it scheduled.
Yeah.
And then I moved and haven't rescheduled.
Oh.
So.
Yeah, no. I haven't even got the finger yet, man.
Yeah?
No. I thought it was 40. I was waiting for 40. I figured that was when it was going to happen. They were like, no, 40, 42, 43.
What are you doing after this podcast?
Hey. Comedy.
No, for me, like genetically, like both my grandpas lived it well into their 90s.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm convinced that it'll be a bad decision that kills me.
Well, I'm hoping it skips a generation because my granddad was 93 or 94.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So I'm hoping I hope it skips gen.
Yeah.
You know, but then alternatively, I have no idea what my mom's father, but my mom's mother, she made it to 70 something. You know.
I'm probably good in the 80s, 80. But you know, I do have some goals though. Like I don't want to die before my youngest turns 21 and we can go party with all my kids.
Yeah.
Like I want to get like a Vegas weekend with all my
just the boys.
With just the boys.
Fuck
yeah, and mom too, you know, but like yeah, like I want to do like
or just the boys.
I mean that may happen, but yeah. But no, like I'm looking forward to that. Like you know, we want to
Yeah, there's stuff like that.
Yeah,
you know,
like that. Like that's like, those kind of things are like that's
like what if we don't get that opportunity? That's the shit that freaks me the fuck out, man. And it's like just that thought of mortality is just genuinely sinking in. It's like, fuck, dude, you are getting older. Every time I look in the mirror and I look at my fucking beard and how gray it is, and I'm
seriously
like, fucking right, like, dude, just since you and I have known each other. Our beards have changed fucking shades.
Yeah. This motherfucker, you started working.
Mine used to be black.
Same,
like, dude. I got pictures of us in the gun shop.
Yep,
and like
fucking solid black.
Like mine was like that cool brown red color and shit.
Yeah, since we've been here.
Yeah.
And now, like I get out of the shower, I put shit in my beard and I brush it out. And I have these 2 little black streaks like a Texas mustache. And that's it. And I'm like, what the fuck happened?
For me, it was when my chest hair turned gray. I'm like, God damn it.
Dude, my chest hair's still black.
Mine's not.
God. Thank God.
I trimmed mine to get rid of some of the
some of the gray.
Gray in there, dude.
Michelle's like, holy fuck, you look 10 years younger. I'm like, I know.
So my stepfather had a mustache as long as I've ever fucking known him. And I met him when I was 7, right? For probably the past, I don't know, 10 or 15 years, he hasn't had a mustache. And the reason why is exactly what we're talking about right now. He had a dark mustache the whole time. And he fucking shaved that bitch. Like clean shaven. And I'm like, oh, that's fucking weird. Like it's kind of like when I shaved and didn't tell anybody. Same fucking thing.
I was like, who's this
thumb you're not
talking
a person
to me?
Anymore.
You're not real.
Right? So then he goes to grow it back and one side was gray. Just one side. So now he doesn't have a mustache
Yeah.
at all. He's like, I can't. Sorry.
Honestly, I swear to God, I thought about doing that. I thought about shaving completely and not saying anything, but I was like, it's coming back fucking white. Like, if I did
100%.
that, it's coming back white as fuck.
I'm glad I did it when I did. That's
I'm-
probably why it's so white now.
If you fuckers shave and you get Jazz to shave, I'll grow mine out.
Just do a fucking flip.
You have to grow yours out until ours is back to where it was.
It won't be that long.
Oh, Michelle won't put up with that.
It won't take that long.
No, it'll be 3 months, and I'll have a good one.
Oh, that's all we need.
Yeah. 3 months, I'll
Yeah.
have a beard again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She won't be happy with me saying this, but if all 3 of you shave yours, I'll grow mine.
Yeah, that's a tall order.
That is.
Yeah, we are not attractive without these.
No.
Like, have you seen Jazz without a beard?
You motherfucker.
Holy
Well,
fuck.
Jazz, I don't know what he's going to look like, but you two guys will look a lot younger if you
Oh,
shave it.
I don't think so.
I think you will.
I look older
No,
without a fucking beard.
Fuck, there's no way.
I'm telling you, man. Fucking 20 some odd years of
If I
smoking
shaved, I could
cigarettes.
pass for being in my 30s.
You think?
Yeah, like late 30s.
Yeah.
Like 39.
39.
You're only 41, dude.
Fuck off.
But right now,
It's fucking
it's like whenever you meet somebody and like, oh, how old are you? You add 10 years, right? Oh, you look great. Yeah, I know.
Yes. 52. You're 52. Oh, yeah. Dude, you look fucking great.
Hey,
Thank you.
You only look 45.
Dude, you look 45. It's like, I want to stab you in the neck. God damn.
But it's so much better than saying, what your real age is. And they're like, oh,
Like, Jesus.
fuck.
I'm glad. You know what? I'm glad that how old are you? I'm like, I'm 41.
Oh, like you just had to think.
I did. The year change. I had to make sure. That's okay. I was telling Scott
You got some time.
he's been saying the wrong age forever. And then the other day we were booking flights. I realized it was the right age. And I was wrong.
Yeah, and then you totally fucked me up. You totally fucked me up. Because then Michelle's like, no, you're this old. I'm like, no, I'm not. John said I was this old.
Because he put his birthday in the flight and it said he was 44. And I'm like, you're not fucking 44. And he's like, and I looked at him like, I did the math and I'm like, oh, wait, you are.
Yeah.
Like, my bad.
That's fucking funny. 40 fucking 4. Good God.
I know, right?
See, you can actually say mid 40s.
Ah, fuck.
See, we're still in fucking early 40s.
I'm still early 40s, bitch.
You round up, dude.
No.
You don't round up.
No, according to the rules of rounding, he's still in his
Yeah,
early
if it's
40s.
below 5.
Yep.
Yeah.
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 And then you're mid 40s until you're 50, right?
I think you're mid 40s. I say till
To 48.
48. Then
Okay.
Because 47, you can round down. 48,
Yeah.
you got to round
the
down.
48,
All right.
you're closer to 50.
But technically, the lower range is 43. 43, you can round up to 45.
Technically.
42, you round down to 40.
I would say 44, 45, 46 is your mid 40s.
Yeah.
And then
How old are
47,
you?
48, 49 is your late 40s. I'm 42.
That's why you're saying that.
Yeah, motherfucker.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure in a couple years, my opinion will change. Because as you grow, right?
But you know what?
40 is a new 30.
In my mid 40s, I'll outdrink all you fucking 20, 30-year-olds.
That's true. I'll take the
you.
Pepsi challenge to the
Yeah,
fucking frat
goddamn
boys,
right.
man. Fucking,
Any day of the
I'm
week.
scared of it. And that said, boys, I'm going to raise my glass, man. Brother, you know what? Just keep learning. That's
Hey.
the big thing, right?
Hey.
Keep fucking learning.
I hope we're here next week.
Fucking A. Fucking A.
Fuck me too.
Cheers, boys. Mm.
What
Check out-
could you do last week that you can't do this week? Breathe.
Breathe. Watch one of us dies before this comes out.
Easy now. Fuck.
It'd be like, he fucking knew it. Like, ugh.
Just in case, can I get y'all's permission if you do?
Yes.
Oh, all right, cool.
Completely.
I knew that was a go from Scott.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
No.
Am I still good to publish the episode?
Oh, absolutely.
Hey,
yeah.
No, before we do the police report, we're propping the dead one up here. And we're doing the last episode.
Yeah.
Fuck.
We're doing the fucking farewell episode. Shit.
Weekend at Freedom.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. You talk about a fucking view count.
Just be like,
It would be
Mikey,
non-monetized.
We
I
gotta
promise.
ring up a pulley system.
be like,
Just fucking.
don't mind that smell, peanut gallery. Mikey's starting to get ripe.
Like now we're going on episode 4.
Jesus.
Oh fuck. Well,
So like, share, subscribe, smash those buttons, guys. Whether you're living or dying, who gives a fuck, right? None of us get off this rock alive. So, honestly, all the sponsors that are down there, check them out. It's quality shit. And yeah, 3 little things. Not hard to do at all. Pretty fucking easy. Scott,
oh, smoke on.
John,
Drink on.
and God damn it, kids. Freedom to fuck on. Later.